Wakanda is a kingdom of many secrets.
What's up with it, y'all? Listen, I'm sure by now a lot of people have did their reviews on Eyes of Wakanda on Disney Plus. Y'all know it dropped this past Friday. You know, we go back into Wakanda and it expands on the world. And I'm with that. I like that it expands on the world and it fleshes out more things about Wakanda, and it gives characters a little time to shine without us solely being focused on T'Challa like we should have been the whole time. We're not gonna talk about that right now. Anyway, let's get to it, man. I saw a lot of people saying that they love the animation of the show. I'm not one of those people. I dig the animation. It's just that the way some of the characters were drew, I didn't really like that. The first chick, I can't remember her name, but I didn't like that she had a little bitty head. I just didn't like the way they drew her. It just wasn't for me. I ain't saying it ain't for you. It just wasn't for me. That's how I felt about that. But anyway, you know, watching the show, you know, I'm one of those people that I think about a lot of stuff and I take a lot of stuff in. The Hatusa Razi is the name of the war dogs, and the show decided that we used to be called the Hatusa Razi and now we're the war dogs, and I'm kind of like, okay, you started off in 1200 BC. T'Challa calls them the Hatusa Razi right now. Like, why did you guys have to do that? I maybe it was just easier for them to teach the word war dogs to children who are probably watching the show. I don't know, but I rather like the word Hatusa Razi. You know, I love that phrase. I like saying it. It rolls off my tongue. But also watching it, you know, in the first episode, you know, they're in 1200 BC or whatever, and you know, they have some a rogue agent, a rogue spy from Wakanda who decides to go out and become a conqueror and uses Wakanda technology to defeat other nations, enslave people, and build his own empire. This guy named the Lion. I love lions. But anyway, and watching it, he has a guard for him, and the guard appears to be a female Viking. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I'm not here to bash the show. I just didn't like that because you was in 1200 BC. You wasn't in 1200 AD. That would have been a different story. You know what I'm talking about? That would have been a different story. Maybe they mixed the timelines. Like, maybe they got confused. Whoever was creating the story, maybe they thought, okay, we're in 1200 AD, now 1200 BC, and they decided to do that. It got to be that, because there's a few times in the story where I was like, history is getting a little jumbled up. Even the episode where they were in the Trojan War and they had Achilles and Memnon. If y'all don't know the story of Homer's Iliad or the Odyssey, which is a movie that I love, but in Homer's Iliad, the last book is called the Ethiopians, where the king of Ethiopia came with 1 million Ethiopians. His name was Memnon. He also fought Achilles, and the deal was whoever loses his army has to turn around and leave. And in the book, the guy sabotaged Memnon, and Memnon died, so the Ethiopians or the Africans had to turn around and leave Troy to his fate. And of course, we know what happens with the Trojan horse and Troy falling and this and that. That's just a small history lesson. But anyway, they did a variation of that in the show, which I dug, that they actually had a Memnon, even though Memnon was a Wakandan agent in the show. Like, I thought that was dope. You know what I'm talking about? Even flash forward, they had a Iron Fist, a female Iron Fist. And before anybody get mad, yes, it is a character original to this show. There have been female Iron Fist in the past, but this particular one was original to the show because this episode was set in the year 1500. Before y'all get mad and say anything, they woke it up. They done woke it up. Before y'all get in there and saying that, yeah, it's set in the year 1500, so it affects nothing. So get over it. Get over it. Anyway, I thought the episode was dope. She came in and kicked a lot of Wakandan butt. Like, they didn't treat Iron Fist like she was a little poop butt. You know what I'm talking about? She came in and did her thing and let them know that she's the immortal Iron Fist. She got her power from the heart of a dragon that she killed. Take this little Wakanda trinket. Anyway, man, even in the final episode where we see a princeling who was like the third son from the king, never stood a chance to ever become the Black Panther. he's on a mission to retrieve an artifact Wakanda. I forgot to say that in the beginning of the show. That's the whole point of the show, is they're retrieving the Wakandan artifacts that the Lion had stolen, was using to create his own empire. So the Hutu was out around the world spying in order to get those artifacts back. But anyway, this kid, he wanted to make a name for himself by getting his axe back. But little did they know that the queen from 500 years from present day, comes back to town to let her know that everything has fell apart, the world has been destroyed, and the reason why is because Wakanda never opened up to the world, and when the world failed, Wakanda was next, and somehow the axe that Killmonger got in that museum all tied into it, and they needed Killmonger to get that axe in that museum. And the way that the axe ended up in the museum was when the Italians attacked the Ethiopians in the year 1800. I think it was 90. Was it 90? I know it was before. I think they attacked them before World War One. I want to say they might have attacked them during World War One, and they definitely attacked them during World War Two, because they committed a lot of war crimes. They did. The Italians did, and they never were prosecuted for poisoning the land and the water in Ethiopia. And y'all know what Ethiopia looks like in present day. But that's neither here nor there. I said all that to say I enjoyed the show. It was only 4 episodes. I wish they could flesh out Wakanda more, but for me, since they decided to kill off Killmonger, but kill off T'Challa, I've really been on the recast T'Challa thing, and I really do want to see a new T'Challa, a new male Black Panther. It doesn't mean that I don't want to see Shuri be the Black Panther anymore. But I want the mantle of King to be returned. But I also would not have a problem if they fleshed out other characters, even if they are the Hutu like T'Challa's uncle was, Njobu, who was Killmonger's dad, or like Nakia was a Hutu or War Dog. In the comics, she's actually evil. You know what I'm saying? She actually turns evil. But yeah, I wish they would flesh out more characters like that. I want to say the last comic run, they had a kid that was born who basically was from a tribe who infuses themselves with vibranium, and they have it in their blood, and he has, certain skills and abilities. I wish they would flesh out more characters, because we need more original characters. You don't have to race swap and gender swap characters if you just create the original characters. That's why Ironheart never had to be in Wakanda forever. No knock against Ironheart. Anyway, man, that's my reaction to the show, man. I say watch the show, man. Show you.